Two, I am coming using a new little toy that I have been playing with, including this microphone, which I'm not sure how that's coming across right now. Hopefully, better than the one I have been using, just to be honest with you. But what I want to do is come and make a little bit of announcement. I'm going to be adding a new series to the channel, which will be done via live stream, which is what's going on right now. This is being done live. And what I'm kind of little thinking thought that I've been having over the last few days is honestly is I want to make this channel a service. I want to give you something worth stopping in for, and one of the things that I have been thinking about is in this world of all kinds of information overload, is it's really difficult for anybody who's got any kind of life whatsoever to actually dig into any of the stories that are coming through the news and kind of get a broad picture of what is being brought forward. We all know that everybody pretty much has got, they're wanting things to go this way or that way, which is perfectly fine. Everyone has their own, built-in slant to how they feel about certain things. But my thing has kind of always been, it'd be better to know the truth and then you can still make that decision after you find all the evidence. Well, finding all the evidence is hard. So, my little thinking thought was a combined news network show. So, the idea being behind it is I'm going to have me and a few other people are going to come together and we're basically going to bring into one place the news that is being reported from several different agencies at the same time. So, for instance, if we take a look here at, now these are, I brought this up just to kind of give you an idea of the number of news networks that are out. Now, honestly, I couldn't find just one to use because there was literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of places that we are actually getting news from. So my thought is to go back and to, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back on my screen because you can tell how much I do live streaming. Really, I'm saying out loud what I'm trying to do. The idea being is to have a place where you can come and sit down, and if there's a major news story that's coming out, you're going to be able to sit down and in 5, 7, 10 minutes be able to hear what everyone is reporting. You dig what I'm saying here? You can hear everyone's take on what is actually happening. So we're going to be using the big three, obviously. We're going to be using the major news sources here stateside, but we're also going to be using news agencies across the pond when they are reporting on things that are happening here, or when anytime we see a story where you're hearing broadly conflicting reports on what actually transpired. Now, why am I doing this? Well, honestly, if you know me and if you've known me for any period of time, unfortunately, I am like a moth to the flame, drawn to politics in this country. One of the things that it's always been a pet peeve of mine when it comes to politics, which is why I never got involved, is the blatant dishonesty and misrepresentation that is generally transpired when it comes to that. Well, unfortunately, and I think pretty much everybody on both sides of the aisle agrees with this, maybe for different reasons, but I think we all pretty much agree that you really can't trust what you're seeing. My idea is that with, the most information you can gather is probably going to lead you to the most likely truth of any situation. That always includes having to listen to the other side. And that's one thing that we're going to do here. And everything is going to be, unlike how some news agencies report, fair and balanced. It actually will be. You'll often see me defending positions that I personally don't agree with because I'm just defending what the article is saying or defending what they're proposing, and it necessarily won't be how I personally feel. But in this country, everyone has the right to their own opinion, and then I believe in that opinion needs to be able to be verbalized in a manner that is appropriate, not screaming and yelling, not hollering or anything like that. Now, one thing, as with in all live streams, audience participation is encouraged. um, we are This is going to be, I'm not making this like this is not nighttime programming. I want this to be family friendly, even though the concepts may not necessarily be appropriate for little kids. I want the language to be appropriate, and I will try the best I can. It's me. It's me that's got to watch. It's the problem with not being around people very often during the day. Very colorful language, very very colorful. So one thing that is, again, as I mentioned on in the intro, this is fact focused. I don't. This is not about emotionalism. This is not about freaking out. This is not about ignoring the facts. So that happens sometimes. The people who are saying one side is freaking out is also ignoring an entire group of facts. So we're going to fix that the best that we can. Again, the thought from my end being is, we all have a lot of stuff to do. We have a lot of things going on in our life. And if you have only got 10 minutes to spend, is it, I mean, as far as me using my time on here, is it smarter for me to try to encourage you, or is it better for me to give you factual information to help you make decisions that would keep you from being discouraged? One great combatant for fear is knowledge. You know, this is an old adage, it's been around for years. I'm sure it's probably still said by some old farts like me, that it's ignorance that breeds fear, and that fear breeds violence. So, my I guess to get to the root of the problem, which is what I usually like to do, I like to get to the root of things. The root of the problem, I think, is there's a lot of people who, unfortunately, through really no fault of their own, they just don't have all the information. And I can tell you for a fact, this happened. I'm a libertarian, so I think that anyone who picks a Republican or a Democrat needs to like rethink what they're doing. So don't ever think that I'm falling on one side of the aisle because I think both sides suck. So just FYI, for future reference, don't even worry about saying I'm a this or I'm a that because I'm a neither. My brother, who, Lord willing, will be involved in this process as well, calls himself a political atheist. So I'm totally stealing that. I think I just did actually. So if you're going to be involved in the chat, or if you want to come on, we can have 10 people really running at the same time on here. We can go back and forth depending on who's talking. One thing that I'm always going to stress is that you have to show the respect you expect. There's a lot of people who think because of position or circle of influence or whatever, what their last name is, that somehow what they have to say bears more weight than someone else. Well, that's freaking poop. All right. I don't buy into any of that crap. What I care about is the statements, the words that are coming out of your mouth. That's what I care about. I don't care about what you did last week, last year, or 100 years ago. We have this erroneous idea, checking the time. We have this erroneous idea in this modern culture that a person can make a statement and that statement can be true or false based on what they did yesterday. Well, that's not how facts work. See, facts are facts, no matter who says them. Do you get that? Do you get that 2 plus 2 equals 4, even if I'm the biggest piece of S that ever walked the planet? You understand? That's reality. The emotional fantasy that a lot of people are experiencing, and this is literally coming from both sides of the aisle. It's just this emotional overdrive that is perpetrating the media is because they just want to keep you watching the show. They want to keep you afraid. They want to keep you freaking out. They can't tell you the whole story because you might calm the F down. Your blood pressure might go, it might drop 30 or 40 points if you actually knew the entire story. Well, I'm here to make your blood pressure go down. You know, it's a lot easier to help you stay de stressed than it is to get you unstressed. So, last but not least, whenever we're coming together and talking, and it does go in line with this idea of respect, is that at the end of the day, we are going to, in all likelihood, still disagree, but we still need to be able to agree to disagree instead of hating each other, instead of shutting each other off. I have been in relationships excuse me. I have been in relationships and have been told after the fact that this person, these people, literally these people, this is more than singular occasion. This is on multiple occasions that they didn't do what I said because it was me that said it. Even though it was good advice, they didn't want to heed it because of who said it. Of course, after the fact, they did it and it was successful. And then they had to come back and say, hey, yeah, that was right, but I didn't want to do it because you said it. Okay, do we see how we're hurting ourselves because we're not following advice from people because we don't like where they stand on certain issues? Does that really make sense? Do you agree with your brothers or sisters 100%? Did you agree with your parents 100%? Do you agree with your boss 100% of the time? No, you don't. But you still do what they say to do when what they say to do is right. And we need to be able to do that when it comes to information that we're hearing from the media. The big problem, in my humble but accurate opinion, is that it is basically impossible for an average person to get all of the different perspectives of any singular news story without spending 2 hours a night following one thing. We're going to do that for you. We're going to have a group of people that each person is going to be working with an individual network. And then those major stories will all come together and we will compare notes and compare clips. We can bring up clips from all these networks, and you can hear for yourself what these people are saying. From everybody, you can hear what they say. You don't have to listen to if you listen to Network B and they say this is what Network C says. Do you know they can lie? Do you know we can prove it? They've done it historically and recently that they have made false statements about what other people have said on air. And so we're going to get through all that. We're going to clear all that stuff away because anybody can say it, but we're going to make them prove it. And I'm all about, because of how I was raised, it was raised under the ideology that talk is cheap and actions speak louder than words. And this means this if that, oh, if that doesn't match it live. Oh my lord. Why did I think this was a good idea? All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping in. And as things develop, I'll get back on here and let you know. I'm probably going to do a couple of these solo on just really to kind of get more used to this program. I'm still new at it, so it's going to be glitchy, and it's not going to be very smooth. So just bear with me. All right. All right. Love you guys. And I will talk to you very soon. Have yourself a great day. Bye.